Hey guys, okay, so today we're going to talk about ISFP bullies. And yes, I said ISFP bullies. You're like, oh, I've never met an ISFP bully. Um, in its most classic definition, I have not met an ISFP bully either, in the classic definition. But have I met, um, I've never met a violent or pushy ISFP bully, but I have encountered a passive aggressive one, a manipulative one. Um, and so, what's going on there? What are the types of things would you see in that sort of scenario? Okay, so let's look at it. So, one thing I like to do when, both looking at potential positives and potential negatives for any particular type is I like to look at the function that is the inferior function, and I also like to look at the function that is the function that deals most with other people, which I believe in socionics they call it the creative function, or it'll be your auxiliary function. So for ISFPs, that'll be extroverted sensing as their creative function, and as their inferior function, it would be extroverted thinking. So in those two functions, that's where we're going to see in which ways we're going to see negative things from ISFP. So what does that actually look like? Well, the number one thing I think of is definitely getting lost in their fight, getting lost in their introverted feeling, and just having a lot of self pity, victimizing themselves, and in doing that, projecting whatever anger or upset that they're feeling onto other people. Projection's pretty common, but definitely victimizing themselves. Like definitely. So where does this go? It tends to go a more self-righteous route. Like, I don't know if Taylor Swift is an ISFP. I think people go a lot of back and forth, but I definitely see a lot of introverted feeling in her, and I wouldn't be surprised she's an ISFP. So a lot of her gripes are always about other people and in the way that she's been treated or perceived slight, which is an issue that we can see with ISFPs, where whether it's an actual slight or a manufactured one, they're going to vocalize it and make it your problem. And they're not going to be swayed by logical arguments. They're not going to be swayed by looking at the facts in the situation. Secondarily, I can see them being very judgmental, super judgmental. I remember in the press, this was like maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, Prince, who I think is an ISFP, went on a long tirade just about modern pop music and people he considered to be good musicians versus bad musicians versus mediocre musicians. And he talked about an incident where he had some sort of party, and Prince is a multi instrumentalist, so he was definitely justified in talking about it, but of course it did come off like kind of preachy and judgmental. From what I remember, he had a party with a whole bunch of celebrities and had them line up, and I think he had said that Lil Kim was in the front, and he was like, it was supposed to be like a fun party, but Prince turned it into let's talk about what you're doing wrong as a musician and how you can fix it. And I don't think that everyone was asking for that sort of advice from him, but him being Prince, like they respected it, but in the back of their head, everyone was like, Prince, we didn't come here for you to like belittle us. So in that sense, I can definitely see an ISFP being super judgmental, super self-righteous. You guys should be doing this way. The way you're doing it is not the right way. And it's not going to be loud. It's not going to be over the top. It's going to be subtle. It's going to be catty. It's going to be preachy. It's going to be passive aggressive. But it will make you feel some type of way, depending on the person's position and whatnot. Another thing you might see from ISFPs is that they may just do a whole, you hear about the INFJ door slam. ISFPs have a door slam too. If they feel like they've done something and you're judging them now, like they're also very like super sensitive to judgment and criticism, whether the criticism is valid or not. And this would be destructive ISFPs, or like not productive ones. And because they have like they're always flighty and their emotions are changing, instead of just dealing with the situation and trying to develop a certain level of conflict resolution, they might just cut you out. On the positive side, ISFPs have a really strong moral compass, and I think that they are ones to ask themselves, wait, am I being right or wrong? Am I being crazy, or is what I'm doing justified? Um, Even though they have their own internal moral compass and their own sort of ethics, which they are comparing everything to, um, I think they're less inclined to be outwardly judgmental. It's just sometimes when they're in their own sort of grip, or they are using an underdeveloped extroverted thinking to judge people and to call people out. It can definitely come from a place of, I have been victimized. You're bullying me, and in turn, being a bully in that sort of way. The ISFP I personally knew, and I think she was an ISFP. I'm not completely sure. I felt very manipulated by her, especially to. She was very good at harnessing what she wanted. So she was someone that didn't like to do a lot of homework, but she got me to kind of, in a very nice, sweet way, to kind of be her concierge when it comes to homework and what you call it, just whenever she would skip class. And it's like, I wouldn't give her the answers, but I was doing so much for her. It was like I was giving her free tutoring, and it was like her free personal assistant. And I had to say, you know what, let's call her, oh no, that's too close to her actual name. Let's call her Deborah. So, it's like, Deborah, I love helping you. You're a really nice girl and everything, but I have to do my own homework, and it's just like a lot of time that I'm spending on you and your issues. And she got really defensive. She's like, oh no, oh, I didn't think that I was doing that. I just thought that I was getting help because I'm having a lot of problems right now. Da 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 da. And she became very defensive. And then I felt bad because she started to reiterate her issues that she was having in her family. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And it kind of went on for like a few months. And I was like, you know what? I'm being a little manipulated here. I'm just going to fall back. I don't think that she's going to ever recognize what she's doing wrong, because maybe she's under some sort of undue stress. And I'm just not going to help as much. And, lo and behold, this is a very specific situation. But in falling back, I think I lost usefulness for her, and then we stopped being friends. And that was really hurtful, because I wanted to feel like, yes, I was helping her because we're friends, but even if I wasn't going out of my way all the time, that she still wants something to do with me, and she didn't. But you live and you learn, and I don't think that she's a bad person. I just think she was just kind of young and self-centered, and I think that's the sort of attitude you would see from an ISFP bully. So while they're definitely not on the top of what I would consider a bully list, where I'm just like, wow, just all these ISFPs just going crazy. No, I don't think that it's something that we see often. Or it's something that we only see with them when they're under a lot of stress, or completely just not self-aware. So that's my assessment of the ISFP bully. If you've encountered an ISFP bully, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and like. I'm trying to get back to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, because then I can remonetize my channel and get the $50 that I'm supposed to get back from YouTube, which would be really cool to do that at some point. So yeah, just checking in, and I'll see you guys next time. Spread the word. All right, bye. Bye, bunnies.